Hey guys, check this out. Mark Cuban says buying virtual real estate is the dumbest shit ever as Metaverse hype appears to be fading. Now, I'm going to dive into this. We're going to see what's going on. I have a unique take on this as we can go back and see Mark Cuban's calls for within the crypto space, and it hasn't necessarily played out. So diving into this brief article, investor Mark Cuban saying buying Metaverse land is the dumbest shit ever. This by far is the craziest thing I've ever heard. If anything, I just want to take a look back on when Bitcoin was $8,100. This is what Mark Cuban said. Back in 2019, October 4th, Mark Cuban says he'd rather have bananas than Bitcoin because they're more useful. Now, Mark Cuban passed up on Bitcoin when it was at 8,100 to then see Bitcoin go to $60,000. Okay. Now, with that being said, am I really going to, buy all in to what Mark Cuban is saying based off of his track record of, making good calls within the crypto space? Okay. Now, he's saying he'd rather have bananas than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at $8,100, and your influence on Bitcoin, not even on Bitcoin, sorry. Your influence on the people that follow you for investment advice. Now, granted, he's made great calls. He made great business decisions. That's why he's a billionaire, right? He caught the dot-com boom early and, was able to buy the Dallas Mavericks, has been able to grow and expand multiple businesses, become, worth $4 billion. And now he's making calls on crypto. So this is the same guy that told you he'd rather have bananas than Bitcoin. Bitcoin was at $8,100 and it goes to $60,000. Okay. So you have that person that follows, a diehard Mark Cuban fan, and he says, "Oh, I ain't touching Bitcoin," to see it go to $60,000 in maybe a year. So come on, everyone, and the same thing goes for Warren Buffett. We've talked about Warren Buffett here on the show. Just because you've made a lot of money in one sector does not make you qualified to, be able to say, "Oh, I wouldn't do this because I made billions." These people made billions in a completely different market. You have people here on YouTube. You have people here, just average people like me and you, who have taken 5 figures and flipped them to 7 figures, have taken 4 figures and flipped them to 6 figures in the crypto space. So I'm just telling you that, just because these guys have made a lot of money, crypto is a completely different sector, guys. It's a newer sector. And, Warren Buffett swears against Bitcoin. Warren Buffett can be respectfully wrong, especially as he has not necessarily been the best. And he said this himself about, making good decisions on tech stocks. That's not his forte. Now, Mark Cuban is in the tech industry, but Mark Cuban hasn't really made big plays or gains within that I know of within the crypto industry. So take this for what you see it. What do you think? I would not necessarily take Mark Cuban's word for this when we talk about, him saying buying virtual real estate, because by the time you figure out he was wrong, it's too late. So do your own homework. Just because the guy's made a lot of money does not necessarily mean he's right. If he's wrong, he's still a billionaire. Okay. And if people like, us are wrong, it could cost you guys hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions. Okay. And I would say gains, it could cost you 100x missing out. So, here's a list of the top Metaverse tokens by market cap right now. Apecoin sitting at number 1, Decentraland, Decentraland with the Mana token, Sandbox, Theta, Axie Infinity, projects that have been around. And he's saying buying land in these projects is the dumbest thing ever. I mean, all I'm gonna say is he can afford to be wrong. He can afford to be wrong. Do your own research, and do not let someone who who really, if he's wrong, he's still a billionaire. If you're wrong, your life may still be the same, right? And it may not be necessarily be where you want it to be financially. So this is the same guy that said Bitcoin, he would take bananas over Bitcoin at $8,100. Okay, before Bitcoin jumping up to $60,000. Okay, so take a look at who you're listening to. Okay, and make sure you do your own research before you just jump in on this train of missing out on buying virtual real estate. It may be one of the cheapest assets with the most appreciation that we've ever seen outside of, actual, regular cryptocurrency tokens. The metaverse is the next wave. How many kids do you know that are playing Roblox? Okay, so take Sandbox and look at Roblox, and instead of that money going to Apple or going to the game when they want to buy more things, imagine it being peer-to-peer. Imagine you need the Sandbox token to exchange, and that's how people exchange. That's the currency within Sandbox, which is quote unquote real live Roblox. Okay, that's what's happening. So when you look at this, when you say, buying virtual real estate is the dumbest thing ever, by the time you figure out it's too late, you may just miss out on an opportunity. So do your own homework. And Mark Cuban, I feel like it's very irresponsible for him to say that, especially after we have on record of him saying, Bitcoin is pretty much, he'd rather have bananas than Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was at 8,100. So I just think, just do your own homework. I definitely think Metaverse is the way. I don't think that buying virtual real estate is the dumbest thing. We have virtual real estate, and it's appreciated, and we've done very well despite a bear market. Before it was confirmed a bear market, we've done well, and I just don't think there's use cases for it. There's proven use cases for it. Look at the Oculus. I mean, I just think it's irresponsible. I think it's manipulation. I think that you could say anything to get the price down, and then 2 years later, I have Sandbox. I own land in Sandbox. Like, come on. Like, his peers Snoop Dogg has land in Sandbox. Like, come on. Like, guys, we just got to do you got to do your own research. Don't give in to what billionaires are saying. Just do your own research. I'm not saying discredit everything they say. I'm just saying do your own research and think for yourself, because it takes a little Google search to see, oh, he was wrong about Bitcoin. Oh, he's saying the metaverse is the dumbest thing ever. Maybe I would almost have the opposite reaction when Mark Cuban says something. I would look at the opposite, because why would he say that after his peers? He got Snoop Dogg going heavy in the metaverse, heavy, and he says it's the dumbest shit ever. Come on. So hope you guys got some value out of this video. Keep moving forward, guys, in everything that you do. Check out Metaverse projects, great ones out there. You can check it out on CoinMarketCap. Just go in, Metaverse token by market cap. Do your own research, read the white paper, see what they're doing, because it's happening. Whether people agree with it or not, it's happening with or without us. So keep moving forward in everything that you do, and we'll see you soon.